Hello, my name is Cheyenne Piget, and I am presenting the Jigsaw method. The Jigsaw teaching method is a cooperative learning technique where students become experts on a topic and teach it to others. Students will typically be divided into groups of 4 to 6 people. Then the students will be assigned a home group and an expert group. Each student is assigned a segment of a topic to learn, and then each home group is given books and Chromebook access to gather information and fill out an info sheet. Students can also complete a poster board together with their home groups or a virtual info sheet. After gathering information, home groups will be split up into expert groups. The example that I'm using today is for a 4th grade resource room. So the Jigsaw method has been tweaked to support children who struggle with writing and reading. And I have chosen the topic of natural disasters. So let's say that we have a classroom of 16 students. Each home group will be made up of 4 students, and each home group will be assigned a natural disaster. And as you can see, I color-coded each natural disaster that is going to be assigned to each home group so that it coincides with the visual picture. So as you can see, we have the earthquakes home group, and they are yellow. We have the hurricanes home group, which is green. We have the tsunamis home group, which is blue, and the wildfires home group, which is pink. So the students could have like 15 to 20 minutes to work with their home groups and fill out their info sheets using the resources given to them by the teachers. And then after that, they will meet with their expert groups. Expert groups should consist of 1 student per each home group. So if you look at the picture, we have 1 earthquake expert, 1 hurricane expert, 1 tsunami expert, and 1 wildfire expert in each expert group. So they will meet with their expert groups and share the information, discuss their findings, and then they will meet back with their home group for closure. And what I like about the Jigsaw strategy is that students it feels good for them to feel like experts in their individual topics. And they also learn how to work together. They learn collaborative learning techniques. So let's get into some of the research. So according to a study under the National Library of Medicine, the Jigsaw teaching strategy has been shown to improve perceived achievement or learning in some students. This could be due to them being assigned roles and responsibility. Students feel a sense of autonomy as they are responsible for their own learning. So like I said, because students become experts in their topics, they become responsible for their own learning in their groups. They're the ones who have to do the research to answer the questions on the info sheet, or to create their own poster board, or to create their own video to show the class. And they build a sense of professionalism because they learn how to work as a team to achieve their goal. In my own personal teaching internship, I have utilized the games in the classroom strategy. I created a fraction bingo game for my 4th grade class. I was assigned a 4th grade resource room, and the students were struggling with equivalent fractions. And so I created a fraction bingo game where they can see the visual of the fraction, like a fraction pi or fraction squares, and they had to match it up with the actual numerical form of the fraction. So this helped with their fraction fluency. But in the future, I would like to innovate a historical figures biographical project into something fun and relatable for my students by having them create social media pages for historical figures on paper, not online. I feel like this would be most suitable for 6th grade and higher classes. And I have actually created a lesson plan for this for another class last semester. And using a paper template, my partner and I created a Instagram page for Frank Sinatra. And my partner and I had a really fun time making it. And I think it would be fun and relatable for the students since we live in such a social media centered society. So now I'm going to show you a quick video of the results of the Jigsaw strategy in the classroom. Keep in mind, my Jigsaw strategy has been tweaked to support children with IEPs because they may struggle with reading, writing, and socialization. So this classroom's Jigsaw strategy is a little different than what I would be doing with my 4th grade resource kids.
Again,
let's watch Kathy Doyle and her students put the strategy into action.
I want to know what you remember about the Jigsaw strategy. Keith?
We went to different home groups.
And then you remember moving your body to another table. Does anyone remember when you got to that other table and you met with other kids who all read the same thing that you read? What was that group called? Deja?
It was called an expert group.
An expert group. When you're done with your discussion at your expert group, it's time for you and your expert friends to go ahead and figure out what was the main idea of what I read. What are some of the details that I want to report back to my home group? So together you're going to fill out a graphic organizer kind of like this. So you guys will all have your own because you will eventually leave that expert group and go off to report to your home group. So the first thing I'm going to give you is a clipboard. So when I call your name and I tell you where you're headed, I'm going to give you 4 clipboards and they're all ready to go. You are going to use your new text that I'm giving you. There are directions on here if you forget what you're supposed to be doing.
It's now time to head off to the home groups. Let's follow Maya, who's going to become the herb expert in her group.
And I would like the story too.
In the home groups, each student reads an appropriately leveled text about a different subtopic of gardening, jotting down notes as they go. Maya will cover herbs, Savion will study flowers, and Moya will learn about vegetables. Kathy keeps an eye on kids as they work to make sure they understand the assignment and stay on track.
So tell me, what did you learn so far? Did you read the first page yet?
Yeah.
What did you learn on this first page?
I learned on this first page, that they use herbs to put spice in food and cook
So
it.
herbs, they're actually called herbs. They use herbs to put spices in food. Why don't you jot that down? Did you know
Next,
what
the
herbs
students
were
are off to
before
their expert
you read
groups. There, Maya will get to talk shop with the other students studying herbs.
It is time to move to expert groups. So I am going to say a number, because your expert group is a number. Look at the text you are reading, and if that text says number 1, I want you to move here.
Also, it is very important to note the teacher's role in this strategy. And the role of the teacher is to be the facilitator and the observer who oversees the students and helps if needed. So as a teacher, I would be walking around, listening to what the students are discussing, looking at what they're writing down, and even asking them some questions, some follow-up questions about their topic. And this is to check for understanding and to make sure that they are working as a team. And then at the end of the entire lesson, I would have all of the students meet together on the carpet to discuss their findings. So I, as the teacher, would ask questions like, who from the earthquake group would like to share out some facts that we found about earthquakes and hurricanes and so on. So that is the Jigsaw strategy, and I hope that you found this video useful and full of very good information, and thank you for watching.